Welcome. I'm Chelsea. We're gonna get higher on the keyboard now. That's how my brain feels all the time.
Sip on cheap tequila in your living room. Wait till we explode, cause that's just what we do. Blind to every sound, there's nothing left to lose. No, I don't wanna see 'em. Clueless on you, don't look so cute anymore.
When you walked in today for the fashion shoot, you were like, oh, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? And then like you pulled off like fucking, fashion, like top fashion model
Thank you.
photo shoot. How'd you feel about it? Was that your first like big like modeling clothes and stuff like that?
Yeah, I've never done that before, and you know what? I feel like my life is just a whole big episode of winging it all the time. Like I just never have any clue what I'm doing, but I feel like for me it's like I never want to let anybody around me down, so I'm like, I'm gonna put all my effort into this, even if it's gonna give me a panic attack, and eventually I'll just get over the panic and be like in the element and in the like zone.
So-
The 2 days before I met Swae, it was my birthday, and my friend was my friend was like, hey, let's go to San Diego and do something fun. My friend is renting a house, like you can celebrate your birthday, we can all just like mingle, like, and we've been cooped up because of COVID, like let's go do something fun. And so we drove down. It was the first red flag when the second we got there the key broke in the ignition in half, so we were just we were permanently stuck there regardless. Then I get a call from my A&R after I took a bunch of edibles, smoked a bunch of weed to try to feel more normal. And he was like, hey, like, guess what? Swae wants to be on your song and you're going to go to the studio with him tonight. So it was, I was like, oh my God, like, first of all, my brain is deteriorating. Second, I just, like, got insanely high. Like, I can't even speak.
Yeah.
So I go because it's, like, it's Swae.
Yeah, like, you're not gonna go? Like...
But everyone there, like, his whole team, they all were nice and just playing games and silly. And everyone there was super positive. So, like, I completely forgot that I had one of the most traumatizing nights of my life. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's the typical life example of every time something horrible happens, something amazing happens. So I try to always use that as a, like, whenever I'm in a rut or something scary happens, I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow something great's coming. But
That's kind of insane if you think about that. Like, it's like, it's hard to even like picture like how you must feel, like in a moment like that. You know what I mean? Like after you have calm down. I've never even done Molly myself.
yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? It's like you're having a big calm down and all that, and then the next day or the same night you're in the studio making like a great song with Swae.
Ooh, I miss the passion in your eyes. But sometimes you know the longer we go, the more the good things die.
We like took a whole ride from the fashion shoot with Gwen Stefani,
Yes.
blasting Gwen Stefani.
The queen.
And because I told you that last song of yours, Open Your Mouth, reminded me a lot of Gwen Stefani. And obviously that's one of your heroes.
Yeah.
As we chatted about. Were you like inspired by Gwen specifically for that song or no?
Honestly, when I make songs, I usually just start on an instrument, so I never really have a direction. I just I'm trying to get the best song possible, like campfire style. But I think because she was my favorite artist as a kid growing up, besides like Taylor Swift and Kanye, weird combination, you naturally start to hear as you get older, like your childhood influences definitely like taking over your sound a little bit.
Yeah. Well, but I feel like the whole attitude of the song is kind of like, it's very like Gwen-ish, you know what I mean? Like you're talking about like a guy that got you on fucking, chain smoking and stuff like that. Like what's the, what is the premise of the song?
Fun times. Well, I don't know. He just was perfect and he was everything I wanted, but he just like didn't want me. But then he'd come back and then he'd kiss me and tell me I was awesome and like his soulmate, and then he just like vanished for like it was this cycle that like literally never would stop. And he also would like take bong rips in the morning of just like ash cigarettes, so he'd like so I started doing that, which was really bad for me, but like I wanted to be like him so he would like me more. And then once he got me hooked on that, I just started smoking cigarettes all the time. Damn. But it wasn't a great coping mechanism for being in love and getting your heart broken. But there's worse things you could do.
Oh yeah, big time. And when did you write the song? Was this like during the process, or like after you realize all this?
Honestly, it was, I usually, when I'm, like, caught in the moment of something, I am too, like, depressed to write about it, but then when I get over it is when so it was probably, like, 2 months after I got over it, and it was actually, I think, like, the week COVID started, I made it, And I don't know, it was like 4 a.m. and me and my brother were just like stir crazy and bored. And I was like, what do you think of this idea? Like, does this suck? Like, am I terrible? And he's like, no, finish that. And so then he helped me write it. And then I went into my room and then I wrote like the verses for the lyrics. And then I came back into his room and then we finished it together.
Nice.
And then I started producing it. And then my friend did some cool ass guitars. And then I did some guitars. It was just a whole process of like a fun, good COVID time.
Hell yeah. Did you think that this is like the most representative song of yours so far or no? Or like one you're the most proud of or something. Like how do you feel about it?
I feel like it, like personality wise, feels really like me, which I love, because I feel like some of the other songs I've put out, I love them, but they're a little more like accessible. And I kind of like the songs that aren't, just because I'm like, oh, this has the most chaotic parts of my personality in it. But there definitely are like more songs, I feel like, in this like crack poppy vein. That's what I call them, the crack pop songs, that will be coming out that I'm like super excited. Yeah.
C-pop.
Yeah, C-pop.
I love that. You should call your album Crap Pop.
Honestly, yeah. I really want my album cover to be me, like, sitting on, like, a toilet in a cute outfit. Not, like, using it, just sitting on it, holding, like, one of those giant lighters, those stick ones. Yeah. And then, like, a joint. And then just, like, with, like, mascara on my face. And I want to make the title Loser. Because I, like, I always am calling myself a loser. Like, but I don't actually think I'm one. But some days I wake up and I'm like, what am I doing? Who am I? Like, I just see.
It's too late to say me